What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? MooseMike here from Deadly Domination Gaming. Today I have my old trusty PS4, I have a can of Ultra Air Duster, a toothbrush, my old PlayStation tools, a white sheet of paper, and some alcohol cloths. We're going to go ahead and clean this bad boy. This will be my first time ever cleaning this PS4. I've had this PS4 since release. Around about 6 years, nearly 6 years ago, I pre-ordered this thing and got it on release day. This is the very first one, but I'm sure other models of PS4s will be the same way as far as cleaning. So, I've watched a few videos on how to clean this thing. We're going to go in blind. I've never done it before, so let's give it a shot, and I hope this video helps you guys too. If you guys enjoy this video, check me out, Deadly Domination Gaming. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I have other how-to videos as well for the PS4. So, without further ado, we have our toolkit here that we picked up from Amazon for roughly about $10. I use it on all of my other videos too for the PlayStation on the how-to videos. We have here 4 drivers that come with the kit, and these will break down a PS3 or PS4, the whole entire system, as well as the controllers. So as you guys can see here, there's a couple of Torx screws in here and Phillips drivers. So we're going to start with taking off the top plate of the PlayStation. First of all, I just want to show you guys too, because some other videos I've seen of people cleaning their PS4s, they were already cleaned whenever they show you how to clean them. So I'm going to show you guys what it may actually look like when you go to clean your PS4. So we can see here on the sides, guys, very, very dusty. Now this is like over 5 years of constant gaming on this thing, never being cleaned, and I feel like now is the time to do it because it could be a major problem in the future, and I can already see the performance of my PlayStation slipping because of all the blockage and everything from the dust. So, as you guys can see here, we have 3 screws on the back that we're going to take off. These 3 right here, right along the bottom, we're going to take these off first. It's going to be one of these Torx drivers. Let me see, it might be the smallest one. Maybe. Looks like this one. Yep, that's the one. Okay, so we're going to take off these 3 screws, and we're going to go ahead and throw them over here on this white piece of paper. Let me move this can aside. Take off these bad boys. Now, if you guys have watched any of my other PlayStation dismantling videos where I clean the disk drive and different things like that, you'll see that this is the exact same process that I used to go ahead and take care of that. So, let's get these off real quick. Okay. Now let's open it up, moment of truth, and see what it looks like on the inside. I know it's probably not going to be pretty. Alright, so we're going to pop this off. It should just come up with ease. Just be careful with it. Just be easy with it. It should pop off pretty easily. So, we've reached the inside of the PlayStation. And this is where the alcohol pads are going to come into play. As you guys can see here, this is ridiculous. Please, guys, do never let your PlayStation get this bad. I don't know why I let it get this far. I'm ashamed that I have let it get this far because I am a pretty avid gamer and I like to take care of my equipment. So, with that said, we're here now. We're getting it done now. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to blast off some of this excess around the plate here. Get some of that off of there, just like that. You don't have to go crazy with it. Just spray it on there. Okay, so we got most of that stuff off, also down inside here too. As you guys can see down in there, if I can focus in on it, there's some good stuff down in there, so we'll blast that out of there too. Get all that stuff out of there. Alright, so we'll go ahead and grab one of our alcohol pads. I probably shouldn't have blasted it directly toward the pads, but alright, so we'll go ahead and see if we can just take them around the edges here. Kind of get that all cleaned off real nice. Yeah, it's pretty bad. This is pretty bad. Alright. So get up in there, clean that out a little bit. Yeah, I think that should be pretty good so far. Kind of loosen it up a little bit, and then we'll hit it with the air duster one more time after we get that cleaned out. So already, just about 10 seconds with the air duster, blasting a lot of that dust off, and then go ahead and take your wet cloth. It looks much, much better than what it previously did. So take this and blow out any excess around there. Something like that. So this wasn't the biggest part I was worried about, but it still needed to be cleaned nonetheless. So we got that taken care of. We'll go ahead and lay that aside. Alright, throw our dirty wipe right there. Alright, so now this is the biggest issue for me. And looking at it right now opened, it looks a lot worse than what it did from the outside. Right here, you guys can see this is where the PlayStation takes in most of its air to keep everything cool. And if you have everything blocked like I do, as you guys can see with dust, it could pose for a major problem. So nonetheless, what we're going to do is first take our air duster and we're just going to blast it right down through here. Try to blast that stuff out of there a little bit. Something like that. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, now I just have a simple toothbrush. Kid's toothbrush. Picked it up, less than $1. We're going to go ahead and try to get in here with that. Kind of try to loosen some of this stuff up in there. I figured I'd use that because it kind of fits like perfectly. As you guys can see all that dust coming out of there. It is crazy. Something like that. Wow, that toothbrush actually works a lot better than what I thought it would. Okay. So, after that, it's not 100%, but certainly looks a lot better than what it did. Okay, so I'll take that duster back there again. Now you just want to be careful as well with the air duster because you do pose a risk of blowing the dust down into the PlayStation itself. So you want to try to work as much of that stuff out of these holes as you can, out of these holes down here as you can, before blowing your air duster in there so you're not pushing it down into the PlayStation itself. Okay, so we got this side pretty much done for now. Again, we'll do some finishing touches after we get the whole thing over with. I just want to show you guys the key points that I'm going to be cleaning from my PlayStation. So we'll flip it over to this side. Now, it looks pretty bad on this side, maybe even worse than the other side. Of course, we have the fan here too, which looks pretty bad as well. And again, the intake is pretty rough. So let's do the same thing. We're going to blow this stuff up off the top here, try to loosen it up a little bit, and then we'll work on the intake. Okay. There we go. Alright, it came out pretty nicely right there. So, as you guys can see, just globs of dust. It's crazy. I don't know how this thing, honestly, survived this long with that much dust. So, we'll take our toothbrush in there again. Clean that all. Get all that good stuff out of there. Something like that. As you guys can see. Let's see if we can get focused here. Down in there, down in these parts here, some dust. We'll try to hit that as best we can with the air duster. So, we'll take our brush and keep scraping along there. Still a good bit of dust coming out of that, but nonetheless, already starting to look a lot better. So, let's take this air duster once again. Hit that good. Something like that. Looks a lot better to me so far. Alright. So now, after finishing that, you know what, I'm going to hit that back down in there a little bit more. Something like that. Okay, so now, after doing all that, we have the fan. So basically, I don't want to go too crazy with this fan because I don't want to blow too much of the dust down into the system itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab our toothbrush that we started out with and just try to loosen it up a little bit around these blades. Just to get some of that dust, because that dust has been sitting on these blades for a while now, so I'm not so sure that the air duster itself will actually loosen the dust up around the blades. So let's go ahead and do all that. Looks like we're working some of it out of there just with the toothbrush itself. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Looks like we're loosening some of that dust up. So I'm going to stand the PlayStation itself straight up, and I'm going to face it downward. Sort of something like that at an angle, and I'm going to blow the air duster up at the fan. Just to try to blow some of that dust out of there. That way, and then I'm going to use the tape to try to, just to try to knock some of that stuff out of there. Looks pretty good. Oh yes, the fan looks a lot better than what it did. So basically, yeah, all you have to do really is just take your toothbrush. That's really all you have to do, and just get around these blades a good bit just to loosen up some of that dust, and then turn your PlayStation upside down at an angle and hit it with the air. That way, you're not blowing straight down into the PlayStation and blowing that dust down into the PlayStation. So, with that being said, guys, everything looks to be a little bit better. There's some dust here and there. I'll take the toothbrush also around the front where the USBs are and stuff. Just be careful. Just be careful you're not hitting anything major with your toothbrush. You don't have to go real hard on it. Just give it a nice little brush, just real easy. Loosen up some of that dust, and then just finish it off with your air duster. Something like that. That looks pretty good. As you guys can see here, I have a piece of tape there from a previous video on how to fix your PlayStation that may be randomly ejecting discs, in case you wonder why that tape's there. So, with that being said, guys, it looks to be pretty decent. Now, you can do some finishing touches on it yourself, too, as well. Just take a look around, see what may need touched up on a little bit around these sides, but you really want to pay attention to the air intakes and everything like that, because that's what's pulling all the dust in, and that's what will cause your system to overheat. So, even amidst all of these issues, with all the dust and everything, my PlayStation still has yet to this day, it has never overheated once. So, again, as I've stated in previous videos, that goes to show you how Sony products work. They work very well. So, with that said, I'm glad I got this taken care of now, guys. We'll go ahead and put this plate back on, just the same way that we took it off. Flip it around here, something like that. You're going to put the front part of it on first, and then snap it back down on the back. And then, as you guys can see here, we have our 3 screws, or 3 holes for the screws. We're going to put them screws back in. We're going to get them 3 screws back in, guys. Grab your torch driver. Go ahead and just like that, pop all your screws back in. There we go. And the next one. Just like that. And then our last one over here on the end. Just like that. Oop, take 2. There we go. Alrighty, so we have everything back together. PlayStation looks way better than what it did before we started, clearly. All we had to do was take some air duster. You can find it at your local Walmart or any convenience store. It's pretty cheap. You need some of that. Also, I recommend a toothbrush, some alcohol pads as well to clean off the plate and everything like that. Also, you can take it on the sides a little bit too once you're done if you'd like to do that. A sheet of white paper if you're on carpet like I am, just to put your screws on just in case you may drop them or something like that, so you can find them with ease. And of course, our trusty PS4 toolkit. That's what I use. You guys may have your own tools that can get the job done. Whatever you need to do to get this bad boy open and get it cleaned out. So these are less than 10 bucks on Amazon. They're great to have if you're looking to break down your PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4 controllers or anything like that, guys. So, with that said, we're going to see how this thing performs. Hopefully it does a little bit better now that it's able to take air in. And again, guys, it's very inexpensive if you want to clean it yourself. But again, make sure that it's what you want to do. I am just showing you guys how I do it. I am not suggesting that you guys do this yourselves. If there's another way that you'd like to do this professionally, go for it, because once you remove these adhesive stickers that are over top of these screws, as you can see mine's gone, you will void your warranty. So with that being said, guys, I hope this video helps you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Deadly Domination Gaming. My name's MooseMike, and I'll see you guys on my next video.